and get these stuff started out. All right. Let's go ahead and get that out. All right. So there are 3 points in the article you linked. Production on the basis of exchange value breaks down, capital's private property is expropriated, and the state undertakes a direction in capitalist production. All right, the first thing I would say is that private property still exists and the state hasn't expropriated anything. And on top of that, you can still trade. You can still trade currency for real material concrete goods that are built by human labor.
Yeah, so the point is not that you can't trade anymore, there's no more exchange relations, but the production based on exchange value, which is equivalent exchange, doesn't exist anymore because of the breakdown of commodity money, right? That's the argument. Your thing about private property, basically everything has been expropriated by the state. So
Can you give an instance of that?
We have a... What?
Can you give an example of that? How is the state appropriated private property?
Yeah, I give many examples in my thread if you read it. For example, you have like the forms of state communication, state employment, right? You have the Fed printing money to create employment. That's a direct form of state property. It's not private anymore, right?
I mean,
because
the central
state is using...
the central bank has been a quasi-private institution since its conception about
but it's
400
not private.
years ago.
The government, the government can directly order through the Federal Reserve to print money, right? Or we say print money, but it's basically they get more bank papers, right? And like, oh, you have this amount of money goes to this person. So yeah.
So what if I told you that even on the gold standard, banks could still print out more money than like what they reflects in their gold reserves?
That's wrong.
No, that's not true.
Dude,
but,
you're already
that's the
fucking
whole
up.
basis.
Dude. Marx called that token money, and it was still, it was just a paper version of gold.
No, you're not wrong, but token money has existed before capitalism. So saying that
token money, this is not money, this is credit, dude.
Okay, do you want to do a 2-on-1 or something, Rev? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you're retarded.
Okay, cool.
Dude,
I'm gonna.
You just fucked up already. You already just fucked up.
Actually, counter my points. Paper money's older than capitalism. You know that, right?
Yeah, the point is not about paper money though. That's not the...
Dude, money
Okay.
has existed for like fucking 4,000 years.
It doesn't need to be
the
backed
point
by
is not
gold
paper
to
money,
have useful exchange value for the real
Well,
concrete labored goods of other people.
Okay,
Like you can
then
still
you
use
disagree
that.
with Marx, right? Do you disagree with Marx? That's
Marx
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that.
I can say I could disagree with Marx. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
say.
so what's your freaking argument then? You come in here to disagree with Marx? Our
well,
whole
yeah,
argument is
I
based
can.
on Marxist
I'm
analysis.
not an orthodox.
Justify it.
I'm not an orthodox
Okay,
Marxist.
That's stupid, bro.
What's wrong with
Your
that?
whole argument is
Haas
being
isn't
like,
even
oh,
an
yeah,
orthodox Marxist.
Look. Your
Haas
whole
doesn't
argument
even
is
agree
being-
with the definition of the proletariat. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody's an
Yeah,
orthodox
no,
Marxist here.
Jibber jabber. Your whole point is coming in here and like, oh, I'm gonna defend labor theory of value, right? You just rejected labor theory of value on the first 5 minutes of
By
the,
saying that money
debate.
can be exchanged. Look, money doesn't have an inherent SNLT.
Yes,
You know
that's
that, right?
rejecting- That's directly
You know
rejecting
paper
labor
money.
theory of value.
You
If
know paper
say-
money.
Look. If you
Even
say
when it's
money
backed by
doesn't
gold.
need- If
Sorry,
you say
go ahead.
money doesn't need exchange value, you directly reject labor theory of value. That's the whole basis of labor
Okay,
theory of value.
okay. So does land have an inherent value?
Value.
Labor
no,
value,
It has a
SNLT.
price. It has a price.
Ah, okay, cool. So there are things that exist besides that don't have an SNLT that are still exchanged like commodities, and money can follow that qualifier too. Could you not agree to that?
Okay, that's not the point though, that's not the point. I'm not saying something without value cannot be exchanged. I'm saying money commodity needs to be the medium for exchange.
No, it doesn't.
needs to be an equivalent exchange. Yes, it
You
does,
can look
bro.
at fiat currencies, and they are being used
That's
as
what
an
I'm saying.
exchange.
Fiat currencies violate the labor theory of value, bro.
Okay, I'm not going to
directly
disagree.
violate-
It doesn't have
Look,
like an
look,
inherent
look, look.
SNLT, but what I'm trying to assert here is that paper money being backed by gold still doesn't have an SNLT. It's just a promissory note. It's an IOU note that you can exchange for some portion of gold at another point in time. The only difference between it now and then is that now you can trade it for a TV and you can't redeem it for gold. You could still trade it for very real commodities.
Yeah, that's not the point, man. You don't get the point. Commodity money is about having value within the exchange equivalent. So then,
Yeah, that's
all
one
the
thing I
exchange-
disagree with
look,
Marx. Go
all
ahead.
the exchange relations in society are based on commodities. Now, after 1970, you don't have that anymore.
Okay,
Your
land's older than
exchange is not
capitalism. You're
based
going
on
to tell me
equal
that has,
value.
that means
Listen,
that
bro,
exchange value is
your
broken down?
exchange is not based on equal value. Your exchange is based on like fiat policies, basically. When you exchange commodities, you don't exchange them based on their commodity value. You exchange them based on like fiat policy, fiat state policy. That's the whole point.
No,
That's the
that's your hang. So you're hold on one sec, Rev. So your hang up entirely here is the fiat money has no inherent SNLT.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
Fiat money. No. Listen. I'll
What
make
if
it
I
clear.
told you every? Okay,
Fiat
go ahead.
money. Look, I'll make it clear so it's you don't fucking use semantics.
Okay, go
Fiat
for it.
money does not serve as commodity basis for exchange value.
And you agree that this is because it has no inherent
It's
SNLT.
not that fiat money doesn't have labor in it. No, it's that fiat money equivalent exchange, and that's the whole basis of commodity money. It's that it's supposed to be equivalent exchange.
Okay, it's a yes or no. Do you think
You
that
have a
because
definite
Fiat?
amount, look,
Hold
you
on.
have a
I'm
definite
going to ask
amount
you
of
a
labor
simple
time-
question, if
labor
you don't
time
mind.
incorporated,
I'm going to ask
but
you a very
exchanged
simple
for another
question.
amount.
I'm going to ask you a very
Yeah, go
simple
for it.
question. Is that okay? All right. So your main problem with fiat money is that it has no inherent SNLT, and that's the reason why the exchange value is broken down. Is
No, so
because
you're using this. No, you're using this cropped up definition. The whole definition is not that it has no labor value, right? It's not that it has no labor in it.
I would agree.
That's not possible, right? Because everything has labor. But the argument is that it doesn't have exchange value because it's not the
What do you
basis
mean?
for exchange.
You can still
What
exchange
I
it.
mean is, okay, look. What I mean is basically before you had commodity money, which is every commodity had to exchange for its definite equivalent.
Yeah.
Right?
And how is that
Exactly.
defined? How is an
Definite
equivalence
equivalent
relationship
based-
defined?
Look, based on labor time. Now,
Okay.
fiat money doesn't have the labor time or like the exchange
Okay.
value.
So
to
that
have equivalent exchange. You get it or no?
you would say that's a yes when I asked you whether or not SNLT, not being backed by SNLT,
Oh,
money
can I
is
give
no
an
longer
example?
valued. Hold on, Rev.
Let me give an
I want to
example.
debate Rashid one-on-one, all right?
I got a better example than he does. Shut up. Listen, the total aggregate prices produced in society can be measured in fiat and compared to gold, right? But when you measure it in gold, it's like zero. But when you measure it in dollars, it's like infinite.
What? Where do you get that? No, I don't want to get onto that topic.
Yeah, hold
How's
on.
that relevant?
The reason why it's relevant is because is the government a commodity now?
I mean, some people could rhetorically argue that, but that's besides
Are
the
you
point.
retarded? The government's a commodity.
I said
So-
rhetorically.
so-
Did you
so-
not
okay,
understand that
so-
part, Rev?
So if I have enough, if I have enough fiat dollars, I can buy the government.
Some people
You see how-
rhetorically
you see how
argue that.
retarded that
See, I
sounds?
don't want to go on the tangent with you, Rev. I want to debate
So-
Rashid.
So the government's a commodity. You're retarded. Then.
I don't think you
You're
understand what
retarded.
rhetoric
Hey, bro,
means. Let's
your-
get
look,
let's get to the
you already
point.
said
So
you
you
reject
said
Marx. You already said you reject Marx.
that's
so what's
irrelevant.
your
Let's get back to the
new
original point. You're not
Look,
gonna
look,
you're not
what's
gonna
your
run
new
away from your point.
interpretation?
I'm
Are
not
your
gonna let you,
value
Rashid.
forms
You're not
just-
gonna
look,
you're not gonna run away from your
listen.
point.
Listen, the
You-
point
You're
already
not
is
gonna
done,
run
bro.
away
I
with your
explained
point.
to you-
No,
explained
I
to you
haven't
why
even
there's
gotten a
no
chance
equivalent
to address
exchange.
your point.
The
I'm
point
going
is
to
done.
argue against
What are
yours.
you gonna add? What are you gonna add?
You said
The point is
fiat
done.
currency is worthless and exchange value is broken down is because it doesn't have an equivalence relation to any other commodity because it doesn't have an
Yes.
inherent SNLT, which is what I
Yes.
asked you from
So
the
what's your
beginning.
point?
And that was a simple
So
yes
what's
or no
your
question.
point?
So that's your yes. Okay. So when it was gold backed, it still didn't have an SNLT. It's because printing paper money is incredibly fucking cheap and just putting ink on a piece of paper doesn't
Okay,
require
you're
that much
retarded.
labor
You're
time.
actually retarded.
Again.
You're actually retarded.
Dude,
The paper money was always
Oh my
linked
God.
by gold, bro. That definitely changed. Qualitatively, it's not the same exchange.
Yeah, now
When
you
it's
can
backed by gold. Look. When
Okay.
it's backed by gold, its value, the value of the paper money, is incorporated in the gold.
Okay,
right?
so
But now
all
fiat
right.
has no value incorporated, basically.
Okay, so if I basically take like a piece of paper and say I owe you 100 pounds of gold or some shit, right? Are you gonna tell me that has like the same SNLT as like 100 pounds of gold?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, so you can at least agree that the exchange relationship doesn't really exist in the first place,
No,
and it has a
look,
deferred
look, no.
value.
If you have a paper money, if you have a paper money that represents 100 pounds of gold, and you say, yeah, I'm gonna give you this, and you have to give it back to me.
So you're
Yeah,
ta-
it does represent. Look.
Okay.
Yeah, it does represent the 100 pounds. But if you give me paper money that has no basis whatsoever in
but
like,
but
any
does that
commodity,
paper money have
doesn't have
inherent
exchange
SNLT?
value.
Does that paper money have inherent SNLT equivalent to 100 pounds of gold?
What's paper money, bro? What? I'm
We're
just
talking
telling you
about
it does.
equivalence
I'm-
relationships.
listen,
We're talking
listen,
about
listen.
exchange value. Do you know what
Before
exchange
collapse-
value is?
Look. Before the collapse, it did have a basis in gold. Therefore, it had a value, right?
I'm not
Or
denying
it
that.
had a value incorporated in another commodity. Not the
Okay,
paper
sure.
itself, in
Yeah,
another
now
commodity
it's all the
gold.
commodities on the
Now
market
there's
economy.
now there's no value incorporated.
What are you
whatsoever
talking
in
about?
exchange.
What are you talking about? I can take $5
no
to the
value,
gas
there's no-
station and buy
look,
like
there's
a
no
product of
exchange
labor
value.
from like I don't
There's
know
no
candy
exchange
like a
value.
Snickers bar, bro. What are you talking about?
When you exchange commodities, the basis for your value is nor incorporated. You don't have any incorporation of the value exchanged. You don't have any.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
a token that is, yeah, exactly.
So
it's the
what's
state
difference? Is
policy
it like that it's no
means
longer promissory note? Like what's your hang up here?
that it's no longer that it no longer has commodity as its basis. Therefore, it's not equivalent exchange.
What are you talking about? I can go buy like some fucking gummy bears from the gas station for like $5.
Okay, can you buy the government?
Yeah.
Why do you avoid this?
Why would I care about buying the government? Like, what is that relevant to the conversation, Rev?
Why is the government a commodity? Because it can be measured in fiat. Is it a commodity or yes or no?
Are you talking about like the national debt? What are you going on about? How is this relevant to the conversation?
Total aggregate GDP, you can measure in fiat. Is it a fucking commodity? Can you buy it?
Are you saying the GDP is like the equivalent wealth of like the state?
For fiat, yes, it's a new it's a new form of price. Yes, there's two forms of price now. There's exchange value prices and there's total fiat aggregate prices. There's now two. So the fiat measured in state value, it does have a price, right? So can you buy the government? Is it a commodity? Yes or no?
I think you have some very fuzzy logic there, Rev. I really don't know how to answer the question. Can you buy a government because it's fiat currency? Did you know the Bank of England was backed by gold and they could still like follow like our hypothetical logic and buy out the government?
Does the Iraq war have a value of $2 trillion?
In military spending, sure.
Yeah, that's retarded.
What's your point? But what are they buying?
Are you retarded?
What are they buying? What are they buying, Rev?
$2 trillion? Dude, the Iraq war is completely divorced from socially necessary labor time. What are you talking about? It's an excess.
Okay, we're hopping all over the place. We're hopping all over the place. Rev, if you want to have a separate debate, I will have a public...
Can I buy the Iraq war then, since it's supposed to commodity?
How do you buy the Iraq war, Rev? How do you buy the Iraq war?
I'm asking you. You said fiat can still exchange things, right? And you can measure the Iraq war in fiat currency.
Again, but what does this have to do with the price of tea in China? What does this have to do with the Iraq war? Like, why are you asking such a silly question? Well, how am I deflecting? Saying that, like, engaging in the logic of buying the Iraq war? I'm trying to figure out, like, how you made that connection where my logic or anything I've talked about thus far equates to buying the Iraq war or, like, the U.S. government.
You said fiat is still acting as money. I'm saying, okay, sure. Fiat measures the total aggregate cost of the government, so can I buy the government then, right? That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, you're equating operational cost to buying something?
Okay, dude, you're still deflecting. Dude, exchange value. Dude, exchange value has operational cost. What are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, but I'm trying to get like what your train of logic is here on buying like the literal government or the Iraq war as a commodity. Like, what's your point here?
Saying, oh, I can just exchange anything with fiat, so it still acts money.
Okay.
Okay, all government expenses can be measured in fiat.
Okay, and you could do that with a gold-backed currency too.
So are they commodities? No, they can't be.
What are you talking about? You're telling me that they didn't actually, like, you know, quantify, like, how much it cost to operate the military in terms of dollars back in the day? What?
You cannot measure the Iraq war in gold. Are you retarded?
You can measure it in dollars, and those dollars could be gold back.
Most of our GDP spending is fucking in dollars. What are you talking about?
Dollars used to be gold back. That's my point.
Yeah, maybe in fucking 1870, dude. We don't live in that no more.
I'd agree, yeah. All right, can I get back with my debate with Rashid? If you want to have a separate debate, Rev, I'd be more than interested in having a public debate with you.
You said you agree. You conceded Rev's point.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue. All right. So you said that exchange value has broken down is because money no longer has inherent SNLT, and I told you that just because it was gold-backed money, paper money, still didn't have inherent SNLT, and that's been my point the entire time. So your point is absolutely pointless to begin with.
That's not true.
He already admitted it in voice chat already. You said it doesn't have an equivalence relationship.
Bullshit semantics. I don't care about your bullshit semantics. I gave you the definition.
My man.
You want to use your bullshit semantics?
I'm using your definition, my man. I'm giving you your definition.
No longer has a commodity basis. It's simple. Don't fucking deflect. Use.
Oh, exchange no longer has a commodity basis. We're gonna change up our words. You said it has no equivalence relationship based on labor value.
Exchange relations no longer have a commodity basis. Therefore, exchange are not equivalent. It's simple. That means the state directly is the one that like sets the prices, sets the exchange relation.
Capital's been fully socialized. You don't need to jibber jabber it up.
Okay, so you're not even using the original definition of Marx's definition of equivalence relationship or exchange value to begin with, right? Because it doesn't just have to do with commodities. It has to do with inherent labor value to begin with. You know that, right?
You're wrong. You lied about the banknotes. Check VC chat. You lied completely out of your
ass. All right, let's go. Where am I lying? I would love to see this.
To ensure that the banknotes were covered by proportionate amount of gold reserves. You lied.
Yeah, and that's changed throughout time. Like, what's your point here?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're fucking living in the past, dude. You're like a caveman.
I'm not shilling for the gold standard here.
Nobody is. We're just saying it broke down. And that has fucking massive implications on profits
Sure, I'm not
strategy.
gonna.
That's
I'm
the
not
thing
gonna
with
disagree with you on
bro.
that.
think
We still live in the
the
capitalist
whole-
mode of
You
production.
think commodity money broken down means absolutely nothing for the economy?
We live in
That
fascism.
capitalism still exists.
No,
perfectly
you said-
fine. The MCM circuit still goes perfectly well. No, bro, you have literal unproductive, unprofitable sectors that are made profitable by the state itself. So
Yeah,
you
like
don't have
Lockheed and
this-
Martin.
What?
Yeah, like Lockheed and Martin. I could agree with you on that one, but still, how does this break down exchange
For
value?
example, you have you have unproductive sectors that are made profitable by the state directly.
Okay,
These
well,
sectors
hold
cannot
on, Ali, hold on. Does Ali concede that banknotes did indeed contain socially necessary?
Yeah, he
overtime?
does. He does.
No, I have never
Okay,
conceded
that's
that point
two-
throughout this
okay,
entire
it's in
debate.
VC
Don't put
chat,
words
it's
in my
in VC
mouth.
chat,
I don't
don't
care.
touch it.
Well, if you guys
I don't care if
agree-
it's a promissory
Now you
note.
don't
The
care.
inherent SNLT
It's in
value
VC
of a
chat.
banknote has always been incredibly
VC
cheap.
chat.
You got
It's in
dominated.
VC chat.
No, you haven't
By the way,
dominated
that's-
anybody.
by the way,
I know you're
that's
trying to
the
save
code.
face right
Read
now,
the code.
and you're
Read
trying
the
so
code.
hard.
By the way, that's
Read the
the
quote. It's in
binary.
VC chat.
You want me to read it? Okay, yeah, cool. I'll read your quote. All right, banknotes
read it.
originally issued by individual banks, correct, which promised to honor the notes of gold, correct. Ultimately, banknotes were issued by state central banks, which promised to honor the notes in gold. As a rule, central banks of individual countries were not allowed to print an arbitrary amount of banknotes, but rather had to ensure that their banknotes were covered by a proportionate amount of gold reserves, and gold was hardly ever circulated. But the paper money in circulation
Destroyed.
acted as representation. All right,
So
so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and respond to your point right here. That didn't stop. That had never stopped any bank from lending out more money than they had gold in their reserves. In fact, that's the problem with banks to begin with, is because nobody's actually checking their active reserves, and people ended up trading money, paper money, more than they actually trade with gold, is because gold is heavy.
That's a jibber jabber point. You know why?
Any more questions?
Because Marx explicitly said that you need commodity money for exchange. Therefore, if you look at the practice, you can make your point. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say a bank prints more money than it has gold, right? Then
Yep.
we have objectively Then we have objectively moved to a socialist mode of production. When the banks start doing that, we have objectively moved to a socialist.
So
mode
if
of
I
production.
print $1
And that was
extra beyond the
Marx's-
gold reserves, that's automatically
listen,
socialism?
That was Marx's point in the Grundrisse. If you read his prediction, that was exactly his point.
No, you're gonna have to pull that citation up, because I don't think he's ever
I'll
claimed that.
put
Go
it
ahead,
up
pull
right
it up.
now, bro. It's in.
Yeah,
just read
pull up
my
the part where he
thread, bro.
said
It's
printing
literally in the thread.
$1 above, like the actual gold in the reserves, leads to socialism.
No, not $1. I'm saying that means the banks can now control the exchange relations. That's socialism. If you can
Yeah, they
control
also
state
control the
plan,
wage. They also control the wage system.
here's the Marx quote.
All right, go for it. Pull it up. Let's go through it.
Yeah, just read. He predicted the broken
all
down of
right.
exchange value, right?
Oh, you're using the fragments on the machine. That has absolutely nothing to do with the central bank. You know that, right? That's about automation.
It has to do with exchange value. That's it.
You're retarded.
It has to do with exchange
Okay,
value.
I'll go ahead and
No,
read it for the
no,
entire chat. Hold on a sec.
Dumb, bro?
You
Don't
want me to
know
read?
that exchange value is
I'm gonna go ahead and
related
read.
to
Hold on,
automation and
Rashid.
productivity
Let me
in
read for the entire
When
chat.
society look, when
Look,
society
I know you
like,
really want to save face here. Let me read
Oh,
it, and then you
listen,
can address afterwards. Sound fair?
when society arrives at a certain point in its mode of production, no longer can labor time like be effective in exchange relation. You have to replace it. So you have superfluous labor time that comes in society because you have the maximum amount of surplus value already taken by the capitalist.
Okay, so you see on Twitter.
That's Marx's argument in this quote. okay?
Yeah, but
And
he's not
that's what
talking about
happens
central
exactly.
bank or the breakdown of exchange value. He's talking about automation. In fact, I actually linked to you on Twitter
Yes,
the
automation
actual
is
full
linked to this.
document. Yes,
That
I linked
production
the
based on
full
exchange
fragment
value
on
breakdown.
machine piece of the Gundry's notes. And before that, he's talking about where people are nothing more than a watchman of production rather than active
Jibber jabber,
participants in
jibber jabber,
production.
you have no
I'm quoting
argument.
literal Marx's
I'm
notes in
saying
Gundry's.
automation
Why are you
is
getting
linked to
upset
this.
about that?
Yeah, jibber jabber, you have no point. There's no point you're making. Oh, he's talking about machines. What the hell is your point? Look at the quote. He's talking about exchange value, production based on exchange breaks down. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
he's
the
talking about when labor is no longer the wellspring of wealth. I've read that paragraph pretty intently myself before.
argument. Yes.
And he's talking about literal automation. That's all he's talking about. He's not
Yes.
talking about the centralization of credit or the bank, which has been
Did I
around.
did I talk about banks, bro? I talked about exchange value, bro.
Okay, so why did you bring this up? How is this relevant to the breakdown of exchange
It's
value?
relevant to exchange value, man. Don't you get it, bro? It's simple. It's
Yeah.
relevant
This
to
is what the
exchange
whole
value.
debate is about on how it's broken down. I'm trying to gauge and
Yes.
understand your position here.
Yes, I showed you how there's no definite basis for exchange value anymore.
I just
and it's controlled either by the state or the banks. Okay, either by the state or the banks.
But the
Therefore,
citation
this
you
is an
provided has
objective
nothing to do with the
socialist-
state or the banks.
The citation was for the breakdown of exchange value.
Yeah, but it
wasn't
has
for the
nothing to do with
Okay,
banks
you're
or
dumb,
even
you're
currency.
dumb. You can't understand.
I know you're trying to
basic
stitch
definition of
this
an
to
argument.
banking and
No,
money.
you
This
can't
has nothing to
understand
do
the
with it. You
basic
know that,
formulation
right?
of an argument. Look, exchange value, right, or exchange relations are dictated by either the state or the banks. This is an objective progression in the mode of production.
Okay,
and
cool.
This is the socialist mode
What
of
does your
production.
citation with the Guns Rice notes have anything to do with this discussion in the first place? Why did you bring it up?
It has to do with the breaking down of the exchange value. How many times do I have to say this?
Yes, and we
Don't you
talked
get
about
it?
in the context of automation. We were talking about banknotes, is because what we were talking about on Twitter is that you said the breakdown of exchange value happened around 1929 because of the collapse of the gold standard. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
So what does this have to do with it?
We can prove it with empirical evidence.
Yes. What do you want? What do you want? I showed you the Marx quote about his
I'm
prediction, and I
asking
showed
you to
how
defend
it
your
happened.
position. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's what I did. I showed you the Marx quote about the breakdown,
That's
and I showed
nothing
you
to do
how
with the
it happened.
bank, my man.
What bank, bro? It has to do with
Exactly.
exchange value. Listen, exchange value is related to commodity money directly. That's Marx.
Okay,
Oh, it
exchange
doesn't have
value.
to
We're
be
talking
the
about
bank,
exchange
bro.
value as in, it is
Oh my
linked by their
God.
inherent labor value, their SNLT. Are
Bro,
we gonna
y'all
go down
both-
this road
y'all are
again?
both retarded. Y'all are both retarded.
Are we gonna go back to the SNLT route? Because I've already talked about how paper
What
money
SNLT,
does not
bro?
have
You-
a very
you
high
use
SNLT.
semantics to
I can
make
take a
your argument.
$1 bill and a $100 bill. They're probably
you
gonna
use
have the same
semantics to
amount of
make your
inherent
argument.
SNLTs because it doesn't take much to print some fucking paper with ink.
Yeah, paper was always backed with gold. That's the
Ali,
thing.
can we wage labor as fast as a fucking printer?
Okay, what does this have to do with printing money?
Because labor is also a commodity and it's being sold below its value.
Yes, labor power.
By breaking it apart from exchange value, you retard.
Yeah, no, like again,
That's the fucking point.
Again, there are exceptions to this rule of exchange value. Marx even talks about it.
Exchange value means
Are-
fucking wages are sold
are-
below their value. That's what it means.
Are you gonna say like expropriation all of a sudden means we live in
Holy
socialism
shit.
too? Like, what are you talking about, Rev?
Can I labor as fast? Can I produce surplus value as fast as a printer? Yes or no?
No, you can't.
Okay. Exactly.
Okay, so now when you said labor power being sold beneath its own value, you're saying that's an example of like the breakdown of exchange value?
Yes. It's explicitly that.
What? We're not in
Yes.
socialism because of literal exploitation,
Bro,
my
I don't
man.
care what you're calling, bro. You can call it fucking anything. I'm that, bro. What is these jibber jabber give a fuck terms, dude? When you exchange fucking labor power, it's sold at its value.
No,
That's
it's
no longer
not.
the
That's the
case.
whole point
Yes,
of
it is.
exploitation. You sell your labor
Yeah,
power for less than what it
Okay,
goes for.
So I'm gonna cite Marx. You're done. Over debate.
Okay,
over,
go
guys.
for it. Go for it. It's so over.
Guys,
Never
debate
began.
over. This person doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. They must be reading too much Paul Cockshaw, I believe. I think that's what it is.
Guilty as
Is
charged.
that what it is? Yeah, I think I guessed it right, didn't I? Yep, Paul Cockshot. Okay, dude, labor power is always sold at its value. That's not what surplus value is. You're a fucking complete retard.
If I open up Critique of the Gotha program, there are literally
You're-
Owenites
you-
arguing
you
that
are-
labor
you are
power should be
retarded.
traded for its own value. You know, Marx has never advocated that
a
because a
retard.
portion of your surplus value needs to facilitate the means of production.
Marx predicts that presupposed it breaks down. He says it in volume 3. He literally says wages must be cut below their value. That's literally.
No, the whole point of like exploitation is that labor power is sold for less than its
No.
value. That's the whole
No,
point of its
no, it's not.
exploitation.
No, it's sold at its value and it produces an extra.
So nobody's
That's-
exploited, huh? So you basically get the labor that you put in absolutely?
So you're moralizing exploitation.
I'm not moralizing anything, my man.
Exploitation is it's almost like an accidental part of production in a way.
I'm not moralizing anything. I'm just talking about the objective fact that labor power is sold less than its
Marx says
value.
right here.
All right.
Yes, labor power is paid in full. Its full value. But I mean, that's just like.
No. Give the citation. I know what you're quoting.
You're
Bring it out.
paid,
No,
dude.
give me the link. Give me the
You're
link.
paid, dude. You are paid a wage before you even do work. I mean, literally, you're like.
No,
how
no.
is that
I,
even possible?
Rev, pull up
hold
the
on.
citation. What are you citing? Because just give
You
me a
know
little
what?
block paragraph doesn't tell
Hold
me
on, you
anything.
know
I know what
You
you're
know
citing.
If our wages are based upon our surplus production, why are we paid wages before we even fucking manufacture?
I'm waiting for your citation. Bring out the link.
Wait, Krusty, where do you think what the fuck?
What is surplus value? It's like an extra. It's
Yeah,
again,
and
it's like an
and it just spawns,
it's
or
like
what?
an
It just
accident.
appears.
It's like something capitalists accidentally realize almost in exchange.
So I'll wait. Give me a citation. What are you citing?
I mean, dude, this is capital, dude. What do you mean?
No, give me a link. I want to be able to pull it up right in my browser.
So you concede.
No, I'm not conceding anything. I'm asking you to back up your claim. You gave me a block of text. I'd love to know where you got it from, and I have a suspicion that you got it from Critique of the Gotha program.
Yeah, you're retarded.
Okay, then bring out the link.
So are you denying that this is real?
I'm not denying that it's real. I'm denying where you got it from.
It comes from Marx, retard.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't say much. Now give me the link.
Yeah, continue doing it, Karim. I'll get the direct.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So, given that paper money has never had an inherent SNLT, how does this break down exchange value?
Okay, I found the quote basically by Rev. It's in Capital Volume 1. Here it goes. I'll send it.
I don't know exactly where this screenshot is because I have a different volume capital.
It's in Capital Volume 1, Chapter 7.
All right, Volume 1, Chapter 7. Okay, we will pull it up. All right, I'm pulling it up. And you said full value. Okay, let's read the context. Okay.
You just don't know what surplus value is. You're retarded.
For spinning of the yarn, the raw material required to suppose in the case of the 10 pounds of cotton have no need at present to investigate the value of this cotton.
Dude, this is embarrassing.
For our capitalist has, we will assume, bought it at its full value, say, of 10 shillings. In this price, labor required for the production of the cotton is already expressed in terms of average
read it
labor.
In your head, man. Shut the fuck up.
No,
man.
it's important for everyone else in the chat. I don't know why you're upset about it.
Bro. I don't care about
No, everyone else needs to know what the context of the paragraph is.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty
read it
important.
and then arrive to your conclusion.
No, I'm going to read it to
fucking
the chat
whole
if you don't
thing
mind.
That's because you have nothing to say.
All right.
You have nothing to say.
So the average labor of society.
No, we want to hear the silence. We want to hear the silence.
The whole chat's going to hear it. It's because context is very important for your entire group. Yep. I'm going to read. I'm going to continue reading. We will further assume that the wear and tear of the spindle, for which our present purpose may represent all other instruments of labor employed, amounts to the value of 2s, if then 24 hours labor, 2 hours required to produce the quantity of gold represented in the 12 shillings. We have here, to begin with, 2 days labor already incorporated in the yarn. Okay, so this has to do with this. Okay, so what does this have to do with the selling of labor power being equal to its inherent value? Because I'm kind of lost here.
Literal quote.
I read the whole paragraph.
Dude. For production of surplus value to continue, wages must be sold below their value. This is explicitly called for by Marx in Volume 3.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. Labor power is sold beneath its value. That's the whole point of exploitation. So this does not exist in Chapter 7. God, you're getting eviscerated so badly because you can't actually back up your points. All right, so this does not exist in Chapter 7. I will wait.
It does. You can't read, bro. You can't read. It's in the literal website I sent you. For the capitalist, as a buyer paid for each commodity, the cotton, the spindle, and the labor power, its full value.
All right. I have controlled F.
Yeah, because you can't freaking search it up. You're stupid, bro. You had to read the freaking whole thing. That's why I told you read it in your head.
All right.
This is bad, Karim. This is bad.
All right. So I'm gonna be charitable. I'm gonna be charitable to you. Hold on. Okay, you're gonna have to stop chimping out in the chat if you actually want to have an honest to God debate. If you're gonna rage, you're just making yourself look like an ass. All right, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue reading this other paragraph. All right. So, every condition of the problem is satisfied. While the laws that regulate the exchange of commodities have been in no way violated, the equivalent has been exchanged for... I'm going to keep reading it. Quiet.
Shut up, bro.
Quiet.
Read it in your head.
Quiet. Quiet.
Did they just own
Quiet.
themselves? What the fuck?
For the capitalist, as buyer, paid for each commodity, for the cotton, the spindle, and the labor power, its full value.
Man. This guy's an NPC.
Yeah, okay. So labor power is one component when it comes to the buying of a commodity. Labor power constitutes a portion. All right? Its full value. That's the context of its full value. That's what you're not reading. He then did what is done by every purchaser of commodities. He consumed their use value. The consumption of the labor power, which has also the process of producing commodities, resulted in 12...
We don't care about your jibber jabber.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I've already destroyed you on whether or not...
at its full value. How is surplus made? It's an aftermath of production.
What are you going on about? No, you don't.
You
sell
don't
your
know
labor
what
power.
You
Yo,
don't know
that's
what the value of labor power is. You don't know what the value of labor power is. This is why you do this.
No,
the value of
no,
labor
no.
power is the value that the worker has to reproduce himself, which is all the thing he consumes.
Yes, that's
the
necessary,
wage,
but
okay?
it's not equivalent
You
to
don't
its
know
own
what
value.
labor power is. You don't know what
It's
labor
labor.
power is.
What you sell your labor power is not equal to its own inherent value.
Do you not
Because
know
it
what
produces
necessary
more.
surplus
You
labor
don't
is?
know what labor power is. That's your problem.
You're
You don't know
getting
what
you're
labor
getting
power
really
is.
hung up, and you're kind of
you know
you're
what necessary
you're trying to do a
labor
bait
is?
and
You know what
switch.
necessary surplus labor is?
What does that have to do with anything? We're
Do you know
talking
what
about
necessary surplus
we're
labor
talking
is?
about
No.
labor power not
Okay,
being
you
sold
don't.
at its inherent value.
Bro,
That's
they
been
don't
the
know
entire
basic
discussion.
terms. They don't even know basic terms. What is necessary surplus
Labor
value?
power is always sold at its own value, bro. This is Marxism 101. This is literal capital volume.
So then how do
Read-
capitalists get
read
surplus
the
value?
whole volume 1. Read
That's
the whole...
because labor power has a special characteristic to make more value than it is, bro. That's the freaking Marxist point from the start, man.
No, there's a difference between the
produce more
value of labor
value
power
Is itself.
and then what it's sold
You're
for in
actually
its value, in
stupid. You're
exchange.
actually stupid.
Ali thinks wage labor is like you come to a buyer and you guys like debate about your wages all day. That's what they think surplus value is. Like, okay, you're gonna produce as much surplus.
When have I ever said anything
You're
similar to that in
actually a
spirit?
retard, dude. You think wage labor is like
Okay,
something that's a
after
big
I've already
job?
eviscerated you on the breakdown of exchange value,
Bro,
you're
I-
decided
I-
we're
You got
we're
destroyed.
no,
You got
no,
destroyed.
I'm
You
not
got
having destroyed.
objectively
You haven't
destroyed.
backed up your
Every
point.
single point
You haven't
you
backed up your
conceded
point.
every
You
single point.
no,
You said, I
no,
don't follow Marx
you
on
have
commodity money,
segued.
first thing. You said banknotes.
You're only
they can
making
print
yourself
whatever.
look
We showed you
retarded, my
code.
man.
Now
You're
you
making
say
yourself
this,
look
you get blown
retarded.
the fuck out of it. You got destroyed. bro. You
No,
got destroyed.
no, you've
3-0.
segued. No,
Not
you've
even 10 minutes
segued.
in,
You've
3-0,
segued.
not even
I
10
don't
minutes
mind
in.
having another conversation about another topic, but you've effectively segued into a conversation about labor power and value, which I have no problem talking
Okay,
about.
so you concede.
No,
Good,
I haven't.
Good.
And I've said this
Yeah,
7
you
times
conceded.
already.
Yeah, you
I
conceded.
have.
You don't
I
know
have
what
not
labor power
conceded.
is. You don't know what
I have
labor
not
power is.
conceded once in this entire discussion, my
You
man.
have conceded 3 times, not once, 3 times.
I've actually conceded 0 times, but okay.
3 times, 3 times.
No, 0.
Guys, I have
You
a
couldn't even defend your
powerful
position
quote.
on SNLT and the breakdown
You
of exchange
defended
value, and
every
that's why you
single thing.
segued
Your
into
jibber
labor
jabber
power
doesn't
and
work.
value.
Your jibber jabber doesn't work. You already said you reject Marx from the get-go. You got blown the fuck out.
What does this have to do whether or not money has inherent
Karim, I
SNLT?
have
I've
a
already
better quote.
eviscerated on you on that. Do you want to go back to
I
that
haven't-
topic? Because that
I
was
haven't
what the
even better
debate was
quote.
about to begin with.
Yo, you decided to drift off with Rev about this labor power shit, and you got blown the fuck out on it.
No,
Okay,
Rev has
just
been
accept it and
interjecting.
move
I would
on.
love to
You
have another
conceded.
debate. I mean, I've already eviscerated you in your debate, okay? So
This
I have
is
no problem
important. This is
engaging with
related
Rev.
to the argument.
I
If you
put
don't know what
the
labor
offer on the
power is,
table that I
you
was
have
more than
no
willing to debate
position
Rev
whatsoever
publicly.
to come debate here. If you don't know what labor power is, you have no position whatsoever to come debate here.
I know it more than you do, man.
No,
I'm
you
just
don't know
demonstrating
shit,
this.
man. You don't know shit.
I've already eviscerated you on paper money and the breakdown of exchange value.
Karim, check VC chat.
This.
Dude, wages are paid before you can produce surplus value, you retard. You're done. Over. Debate over. Over. You're retarded. I win. Dominated.
No, that doesn't indicate anything of the
Wages
sort.
exist even before, exactly. Wages exist even before the worker starts working, bro.
All right. So since
has a definite
since
value,
since
that's why it has a
Rashid
definite
concedes that he cannot defend his point that exchange value is broke, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. All right. So now that you concede your point, Rashid, that you can actually defend the breakdown
You
of exchange
conceded-
value,
you
no,
conceded
I have
3
not
times,
conceded.
Roy.
I'm gonna go ahead and debate Rev now. Okay, Rev, let's talk about labor
It's
power.
over.
Where does surplus value come from?
Bro, I'm playing my game right now, bro.
You've interjected several times already. I'm pretty sure you're ready for a debate.
Dude, I'm just
You're
giving
done, bro. You're
Don't
done.
pussy
You're
out,
done.
my
You
man.
know
Don't
what you're
pussy out.
talking about. You're
Don't
done.
pussy
You're
out.
done.
You wanted to
You're
interject.
done,
Now we
you're
can
done,
have a
you're done,
public
you're done,
debate.
you're
Let's
done,
have a
you're done.
public debate.
You read a Marx quote for 5 minutes. You can't even fucking find the labor power. You can't even find the quote. And here you are. Oh, I'm gonna debate you on exchange value. No, you don't know shit, bro. Just get out.
Bro, I've
Get
already
out.
eviscerated you on your
lost.
point. Be
You
quiet.
lost.
I'm gonna debate
You
Rev.
lost. You lost.
Rashid,
10
be
minutes
quiet.
in, you lost.
Rashid, be
10
quiet.
minutes
I'm
in, you
debating
lost.
Rev now.
10
Rashid,
minutes in, you lost.
Rashid, be quiet.
I will only debate if you read Capital. You get the, that's my condition.
I've already read Capital more than you have.
You haven't, bro. We sent you the quote and you deny it. We sent
Yes,
you Marx on
I'm
commodity
allowed to
money,
do that
you
in a
deny
debate.
it.
Because it hasn't backed up your point. It's just like when you tried to use Gun's Rice and the
You
notes on
have
fragments in the
no
machine to back your
basis
point,
for your
and it
jibber
didn't back
jabber.
your
You have
point.
no basis for your jibber jabber. You have no basis for your jibber jabber.
on Fortnite, man. Who can
Bro,
talk on
you
Fortnite?
cited something completely irrelevant to the discussion of banknotes and money. You've already lost your point, my man. I'm gonna debate
No,
Rev
you're
now.
a dumbass. I cited it for the breakdown of exchange value, not for banks.
No,
Retard.
it's
Exchange
over.
value
Bring
is
back a new
related to
point.
commodity money.
Bring up a new
Exchange value
point
is
or
related
fuck
to
off, dude.
commodity money. Exchange values are
Bring
related to
up a new
commodity money.
point
We were
or
talking
be
about
quiet.
commodity money before. I showed you how, in that example,
Rashid,
value
for the
breaks
love
down.
of God, make up a new point or shut up.
What new points, bro? You decided
You
to
don't.
return to
You haven't
banknotes.
given
Now
me
I'm
any
debating
new
it.
points.
I'm showing you how you're wrong.
I'm gonna
You
back
lost.
it up.
You lost. You just
All right,
lost, man.
Rev, let's talk about
move
labor
on.
power
You
now.
lost. You lost. You lost.
Where does surplus value come from?
You lost. You lost.
Please,
You started this discussion.
Alistair, please address the quote I posted
Okay.
on the relationship between the issuance of paper money and gold and market
Absolutely.
He denies Marx, Drews.
Wait.
You know what? This guy denies
Yeah,
Marx.
yeah.
He said
Wait,
he said explicitly at the start of the debate, I deny Marx.
Because he reads Paul Cockshot. That's Paul.
What are you
Paul
even?
Cockshot.
What's your point then? What's your point? You have no basis for your argument.
One at a
What?
time. One
Are
at a
you
time. Can we have a
neo-Ricardian?
stage? We have
What
like
are you?
40
Are you
people here.
neo-Ricardian? Are you
I would love to have a
neo-Ricardian?
stage.
What are you? What are you? Are you a value form guy? What are you, man?
Oh my God! Can you tell Haas to make like a stage? Like, you know, it's because like talking to 7,000 people like in one chat is really
You're
annoying.
being dominated right now.
No, not really, dude. Rev, I keep confronting you and you're like, oh, I'm gonna play my video games, bro. I'm too
Yeah,
much
you
of a
have no
bit to
basis
actually
for your
defend my
jibber jabber. You
points.
have no basis for your jibber jabber. You
Bro,
just make it up.
Rev,
You just
I'm
make
right
it
here.
up.
I'm right here. We got an audience of like what, 30
What?
people?
I'm right here.
Dunk
What?
on me.
You're irrelevant, bro.
No,
You're
Rashid, be
irrelevant.
quiet. You
What
lost your
are
point.
you
Go away.
Basing your points off
Karim,
nothing.
Oh,
Karim,
Rashid,
let him-
Rashid,
let him-
I don't want to
Karim,
mute you.
Let him respond. Let him respond.
All right, thank you.
Bro, Jews, you haven't seen this guy from the start of the
Okay,
debate.
am I gonna
No,
debate
but-
Resnick? All right, how are you doing? How are you doing, by the way? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yo,
What happened to the
shut
Midwestern
fuck up.
Marxist?
Just-
No,
just-
no. What happened to the Midwestern Marxist server?
Posted. Respond
What happened to the
what it
Midwestern Marxist server? Did I get banned?
He's a faggot. Fuck him.
I don't know. They also.
Ah, god dang it. TOS friendly words, please. Thank you. Okay, cool.
I'm not here to make small.
I don't
talk.
care, I'm not
Just-
friendly.
All right. I'm gonna start. I guess am I debating you, Dressnick?
Ali, you're also a faggot of anime profile picture.
Sure.
Fuck
Bro,
you.
I don't give a
Address
shit.
the-
Cope and
address
seethe.
the,
You have
address the
anime, fuck you,
Marxist
faggot. I dominated
Cope
you.
and seethe, bro. All right,
I dominated you.
bro. If you want to go into your debate with
said-
you, I can do that. I will entertain a debate if you stop playing a video game, bro.
No socially necessary labor time. That's a complete lie. You made that the fuck up, and you conceded. It's over.
How much labor does
know
it
what you're
take to print a
talking
banknote, bro?
Bro, again, their printing of those banknotes were still bounded up to the total aggregate gold they had. Retard, read the quote.
Okay, so it still doesn't have an
Yeah, dude.
inherent SNLT. That's my
Yeah,
point the
dude,
entire
retard.
time.
You're
Dude,
literally
dude, you are
stupid. You're
coping
actually
so hard.
You're
Okay.
actually stupid.
Okay.
You're actually stupid. It can't be helped.
Rev,
You're
you chicken shitted out of the discussion about labor power and value.
You can't understand anything, bro. You can't understand anything.
Also,
Every
dude,
single
dude,
point.
Dude, do you think they had printing machines in 1870, dude? Are you stupid?
Have you heard of the
Like,
printing
what
press?
the fuck? Dude, yeah, it's a printing press as fast as a fucking printing machine. retard.
It's a lot faster than the way they used to make paper notes. Like,
You're actually retarded, bro. Yeah, they had printers in fucking 1910.
okay, I'm gonna address
Also,
Dresnick. All right.
Alistair, the printing technology, right? Even if it existed in the 19th century under the gold standard, it has no bearing on what Marx is talking about. Because what Marx is talking about
Sure.
is that the notes that are printed, which you're right? There's not too much socially necessary labor time embodied in the note itself, which is printed. But the point is that it stands for symbolically a concrete metal standard, right?
So
That's
okay,
Marx's
okay.
point.
So
And
banknotes are
if
yeah.
you
Go ahead.
decouple the the worthless note from the gold, then that's the important thing that's what Karim and
Yeah,
and
that's
Rev are
the
talking
breakdown.
about, right?
That's how
Oh, okay. So that's when it qualitatively breaks down. Okay. So how much SNLT do you think like a banknote has? It says it's worth 100 pounds of gold, and like the inherent SNLT of
What?
like 100 pounds of
Hey,
gold.
retard,
talk about-
20, add like 20 hours.
I know this question upset you.
You're still
I
talking
know
about
this question
banknotes.
upset you, my man. But let's ask the question. All right, how much labor value do you think like 100 pounds of gold is, and how much labor value do you think is like a little piece of paper that says it's worth 100,000,
Why are you
100 pounds of
still
gold?
talking about banknotes? You just got the whole thing explained by Drews. You still come back to banknotes.
All right, Rashid, I've already done away with you. I don't want to mute you. I'm talking with Druz.
Empirically observe socially necessary labor value. Well, like what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
100 pounds of gold.
What does observation of it have anything to do with it?
It can only be made equivalent through exchange.
What does
You can't
observation have to do with
empirically
it?
observe labor value.
This person said 100 pounds of gold.
What does this
Realize
have to?
how-
What does
Bro, do you
observation have to do with
realize how long
anything?
it takes
I'm
to
confused
produce
about that one,
a
Druz.
fucking 100 pounds of gold? Are you out of your mind?
Druz, like, what does this have to do with like this banknote that says it's worth 100 pounds of gold and the actual 100 pounds of gold in itself?
Oh, 100 pounds.
Rev, do you want to go back to a debate with me? Because I'm perfectly fine with that.
Holy
We can
shit,
go back
bro,
to
I
labor
thought-
power and value, and I can
I thought
eviscerate
this
you
person
too.
said an actual 100 pounds of gold. Like, what the fuck? Oh, it's over. I already beat you. I can't debate.
No, you haven't. You haven't. In fact, you keep running away saying, I gotta play my video games, bro.
You got blown the fuck out. You got blown the fuck out.
Rashid, be quiet. I've already made you my bitch. Be
You
quiet.
got blown the fuck out. You got blown the fuck out.
You're bought and
You got
paid
blown
for,
the fuck
Rashid.
out.
You're bought
You
and paid
lost,
for.
You lost. You have no basis for your theories.
You're
You
bought
lost,
and
you
paid
lost,
for, Rashid. Be
you
quiet.
lost, you lost, you
No
lost. You have no basis for your theories.
Ali has
You have
no
nothing. You have
strategy.
nothing. You have no arguments. You have no arguments. Nothing. 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 We give you the Marx quote. You can't even fucking respond. You have nothing. You lost. Stop
No,
talking,
I
bro.
haven't.
You
This
just
is
lost.
hilarious. I've
You
enjoyed
have
this
no-
entire
yo,
discussion.
Respond to the Marx quote then. Respond to the Marx quote on labor power. Respond to anything we've said. Anything.
I have. I've
anything. You
addressed
can.
every single one of your points, and I've disclosed every single one of them.
Point you've addressed. Okay, respond labor power then. Well, labor power is sold at its value. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree. It's not sold for its value.
Why?
It's sold less than its values because that's how exploitation happens.
Do you reject the Marx quote we just sent?
No, I don't reject the Marx quote. I'm just failing to see how it's relevant.
Yes, you do. Look at the Marx quote.
Okay, okay.
Read
If I pull it up,
just
okay,
sent
okay,
I just sent it
okay.
again. Read the
Are
Marx quote.
you gonna lose your shit if I read it out loud?
Read the Marx
Hold
quote.
on.
Are you gonna
Let me
lose
make
your
the
shit if I
argument.
read it out loud?
Let me make the argument. At a certain point in capitalist production, what Marx presupposes at its full value, it must be violated, and that's production based on exchange value breaking down. That's the breakdown.
Okay,
This
I'm gonna.
law has to be violated to produce more surplus value, retard. And we
Alright.
can give empirical evidence for it.
I'm gonna
retard.
pull up like a quote
That's
from
the whole point,
critique
yes.
of the growth of program.
Oh my
Critique.
god, bro.
We don't
was
care
that?
about the go-to program. Respond to the quote we sent just now.
I am.
Respond to the
I'm
quote
going
we
to
sent just
respond to
now.
it. You can hold your horses. Give me 1 sec. Okay.
Don't read quotes. I swear if you start reading quotes, 1,000 words, don't read quotes.
I
Make a
can
point.
explain the quotes. I'm actually explaining what this quote means. They can't explain shit. They're like reading out loud, gibbering in their head. It's so fucked up. So
I actually want to read the critique of the
Anime.
Gotha program, Cope, again. It's not going away. Anime lives matter, no hentai, no peace. Alright. Within the cooperative society based in the...
You're getting banned after this.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Banished.
Actually, I would like to actually do a debate with Haas later,
You're
if that's
getting
possible.
banned.
But
No, you're getting
You want to
banned.
debate with Haas later? You can't even get through his fucking community, you bitch.
I have.
What
I've
are you gonna
eviscerated
do against
you.
Haas, huh?
I've eviscerated you and Rev.
You got blown the fuck
Bro,
out.
bro,
Respond to the
Ali,
quotes. Respond to the quotes.
Ali,
Respond to the
Ali,
quotes. Respond to the
you-
quotes.
I already have. I'm just gonna get you a quote
You
from the
didn't. You
critique of the
didn't. You
program.
didn't. Respond to the quote.
If you are right, you shouldn't be afraid of me getting a quote from the
Bro,
critique
Ali,
of the
can you
Gotha
explain
program.
me? Can you
Then
explain-
respond.
Alright.
Respond then.
I am.
Respond.
I am. You shouldn't be losing your
Bro,
shit.
can
Hold
you
your
Here's your
horses.
argument.
Hold your horses, my man.
Bro, they
I'm gonna
gotta-
get
they
you
gotta
your
pull
quote.
quotes to argue. They
Okay,
can't
mute
argue.
yourself
Yes.
until you find the fucking response.
I'm not gonna mute myself.
yourself until you.
Why would I mute myself?
Okay, then find the response.
Don't worry. I'm good. Just hold on. Now. Alright, let's see. Value. Alright.
I don't want wages to be paid at the point, but I want no wages, bro. I don't care what Marx says in the GOP program. Marx said wage labor will break down anyways.
Didn't you accuse me of like throwing out the labor theory of value and contradicting Marx?
Marx says in volume 3, wage labor will collapse. He fucking predicts it directly, so I don't give a fuck
I
about
don't disagree with
my
you on
full
that.
value. I don't want to be paid my full value. I want to get rid of the wage system. That's the
Okay.
strategy. I'm trying to build a strategy out of labor theory. You can't fucking do that because you read too much Paul Cockshot all fucking day.
And Paul Cockshot's based.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's a retard. He can debate me too. Give me a VC chat. Where's he
PhD
at?
computer science? Yeah, I don't think he's retarded.
Yeah, his book on we need a new socialism is fucking garbage. Fuck that guy. He's retarded. Why do we need a new socialism? Is the one we got right now not good enough for him? He's a retard.
Wait. I thought everyone here was like a revolutionary. They want to see like things change just because, you know, things suck and so they choose socialism as a response. Like, I'm confused on that one.
Yeah, we already got socialism and it fucking sucks. I'm done with socialism.
Wait, what are you trying to convert to? Like, what's the whole thesis here?
Okay, bro, stop talking. Just find the fucking response, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm engaging in small talk with you until I get it.
Freaking snake away. Find your response.
I'm not trying to sneak away. If I
Find your
snuck
response.
away, I
That's why
wouldn't be
said-
here.
That's why I told you to mute yourself because you're gonna start talking with Rev and shit. Find the response and shut up.
They said they were gonna get this quote 15 minutes ago. What's going on?
50 minutes ago.
I know.
It's been
That's
like
what
5.
I'm
Actually,
pushing
no,
him on
it's
it.
been
You
like
can't
8
even
minutes.
freaking- Okay, find it.
Dude, you can keep rushing, but you're gonna have to wait. All right?
I'm not
Thank you.
rushing. Just stop talking. Stop talking with other people, bro. Find
No.
the quote. What do you mean no, bro? You're trying to snake away from this.
I'm not trying to snake away anything, dude. I
Yes,
actually
you
showed up for
are.
the
Yes,
debate.
you are. You're trying to snake
Bro,
away.
if anyone who's trying to
Find
snake
the
away,
response.
if anyone who's trying to
Find
snake
anything,
away,
anything
it's
in
you
response.
because you try to
Anything
hop
in
around from
response.
different topics.
Where in GOP program does Marx reject wage labor collapse? Where does he say this?
I don't never said he did.
Then
Just
find
Like,
it.
where are you
Fine,
getting
fine.
this stuff? Are you becoming schizophrenic, Rev?
read volume 3.
All right. Let's see. What are the proceeds of labor? The product of labor or its value? And the latter
fucking
can.
God, I know what you're about to say. This is ridiculous. I'm about to ban them. This is fucking bad.
I mean, go for it. You mean you haven't defended any of your points. That's
This
why I
is
wanted to
bad,
do a
guys.
public debate with
I already
you.
know what they're gonna-
Respond.
I already know what they're
Respond.
gonna say.
Respond.
This is bad. This is really bad, honestly.
All right.
Dude, this anime shit's gotta go. Honestly, like.
Are you still butthurt that I mopped the
what
floor
anime
with
does
you
to
over
people,
labor
dude.
power and value?
Respond.
This is what anime does. This is what anime does right here. Fucks your whole brain up. You start
Makes
reading
people
Paul
make good
Cockshot.
points.
You start reading Paul Cockshot and you start doing anime. It's fucking not good at all.
I love you guys. All right.
Your parents don't.
Bro,
I'm
VC
hurt,
Jack,
dude.
guys.
It's like so over, dude. Right. Oh well, I can't find it. Maybe another time. I'll
Oh,
probably
for
send it to you
sure.
over Twitter.
I win.
All right,
Okay, so
but
you
I'll
can
go
see
ahead.
good.
I'll go ahead and paraphrase. But the critique was, and the critique of the Gotha program, if I could find it another point,
Oh my.
is that the value, nobody is going to get the full proceeds of their value. That's one of the things. Even in the socialist mode of production or the capitalist mode of production, you're not getting your full value.
No shit. As I just put it out in VC chat, wages.
Oh, you accept that? You accept that? Okay.
Wages must collapse at a certain point.
No, that's not what you said. So you agree that you don't get the full value of your
Wages, I
labor?
don't want my full value because it's gonna collapse anyways.
No,
It already did collapse.
you agree that you don't get the full value of your labor. Am I hearing that
Yeah,
correctly?
Because fiat currency exists now.
Okay, but then by definition, you
I told you we're no longer.
when you
paying
sell
our
your
full
labor
value
power,
because
you get
the
less
green
value
value
than what you put
broken
in. Like, I think you just agreed with me that you agree with exploitation. Thank you. I don't even have to grab a citation.
What?
Thanks for agreeing with me. You
You're
said
retard, you're
you said you
retard,
don't get
you're
the full
retard.
value of
The
your
whole
labor when you
point
sell your
is
labor
that it's
power.
supposed to break down. That's the whole point. That means you have jobs
Nobody's
that do nothing
denying
and get more, and you have
Rashid,
jobs that do
Rashid, be
more
quiet.
and get less.
Rashid,
That's
be
the
quiet.
whole point.
Rashid,
Superfluous
be
labor
quiet. I'm
time.
talking with Rev. Be quiet. I'm talking with Rev. Thank you. All right. All right.
Kareem's dominating you. Kareem's
You're
dominating
getting
you also.
muted. Thank you. All right.
No,
So
you mute Kareem.
no,
You
he's
get
getting
that. Okay,
he's getting
okay.
muted.
So you concede, Ali. You
I don't concede anything. He hasn't made any
You're-
points.
you're-
I'm debating with you
you're
now,
here-
Rev.
You're here to debate Kareem. If you do not,
I did, and I already beat his ass.
For
I already
anime,
beat his
for
ass.
anime.
He
Unmute
can't
him or
actually
ban.
defend his points.
Unmute him or ban.
Does he have new
Section.
points?
You have anime pro quick. That's automatic.
Does he have new
Being
points?
Nice.
Rev,
Yeah,
does
he
he
does.
have? Oh, okay. I will unmute him. All right, cool. What is your new point
Hello?
that exchange value has broken down?
The whole point is that the law that labor power must be sold at its value will break down. Therefore, you have superfluous labor time, which is people that don't produce shit and get their value, their price, and people that produce more and don't get their price. That's the whole point Marx makes.
And
it's
when have you
supposed
when
to be
okay
the whole point.
give me one point where we've gotten the full value of our labor. No, I'm gonna address Rashid. I'm gonna address
Can you
Kareem.
explain me the exchange value?
I'm gonna address
Fucking
Kareem. Hold on one sec, Rev. Hold your point.
pussy.
All right. So you know, how's that a pussy thing? All right. Where do you get? You just said we don't get the full value of our labor. You just agreed to that point. Are you backtracking
I'm
on
saying
that
it's
again,
supposed to
Kareem?
break down. That's the whole point. I'm saying in classical capitalism, you will. That's labor power is sold at its value. You know how Marx analyzes shit? Do you know how he analyzes shit?
I don't think you do.
Look. He starts from the source of value itself and then finds the contradictions in the actual existing society. Therefore, in theoretical model, that's
like a
the law
math
you're supposed to
problem.
have, right?
Dude, Marx
But
is in
then
math.
it's supposed to break down, bro. It's supposed to break down. That's the point Marx makes.
Okay.
Like, what do you like? Does Ali even know about?
Where
the
have we?
problem?
Yeah, we know about the transformation problem. What does this have to do with
you
the
don't know about
discussion?
the transformation
The
problem. You know.
transformation problem. The whole point is that price diverges from value. That's like the whole point of it. Like, what are you
No,
talking about?
price has never been equivalent, or has never been. You don't trade
Yeah,
things
it has
and
to
denominate.
break- they have
No,
to
you
break
don't trade
away.
things denominated in 12
They
labor
have to
hours.
break
Like I
away.
buy a
They
pack
have
of
to break
gummies from the
away.
gas station. It's
Price
not going
and
to say
value
12
have to
labor
break
hours.
away. Price and value. have
Even
to break
in
away.
Das
bro,
Kapital
this
Volume
is-
1,
this
it's
is,
deferred
you
with the
know,
money
We
commodity.
use it a lot, but this is the exact example of the Anglo box. You fix a mode of production in time, and you think that it is. It's supposed to say the whole time. No.
Okay,
The reason
okay.
A mode of production
Kareem.
is inherently contradictory. you
Kareem, you're hopping around all over again because you're not actually
The reason
defending your
why-
point. I'm going to hold your feet to the
why-
fire on that one, okay?
Oh my goodness.
So, you said exchange
my
value is
goodness.
broken down is
Bro,
because
it's
money no
animation.
longer has inherent SNLT. Do you have a different point that you'd like to make?
Yeah, we responded to the banknotes, so we showed you how. Before it was linked to a specific amount of gold, now it's not.
No, you're
That's the
saying you
point.
have.
That's
You're
where
you're
the debate
engaging
is
in
at.
meta
Not the
conversation. You're
banknotes.
engaging in meta conversation. You're not bringing any new points. Do you want to be muted again?
That's the new point.
No, do you want to be muted again? Do you have a new point? That's why I
That's the
unmuted
new
you.
point. That's the response.
You're getting
That's
blasted.
the response to your argument.
You don't have any new points, do you?
That's the new point.
Okay. Now, you've already agreed that you don't get the full value of your labor, Rev. What is there
We're
else
saying
to
that's-
disagree
We're
with
saying
you?
that's the objective
Up in-
progression of the
up
mode of
in-
production.
Up until 1933, we were before they raised the price of before they raised the price of gold, retard, and
Wait.
the dollar.
Wait, you're saying that before the gold
Retarded.
standard collapsed, we got the full value of our labor?
Yes.
Dude, then what was the point of the
More
whole
or
fucking
less,
labor
more or
struggle
less.
in the Gilded Age? Like, what are you talking about?
Hold on. It's not. It's more or less. We're presupposing that's more or less that way. Right? There could be like a couple points of divergence. That's how markets work, of course. But it's mostly oscillating around the value.
Okay, so when you had a lot of all those labor and communist movements back in like the late 19th century, that was like not in response to exploitation because people were getting like the full value of their labor. Dude, care to take that point back? Do you really want to die on that hill, Rev? Rev?
Bro, I don't even know what you even asked. They said I don't even know what they're even asked. It made no sense. Like this is literally ignore that. It made no sense. I'm sorry if I didn't just hear that retarded shit.
Rev, are you... What was the whole point of the communist struggles in the late 19th century? Labor Day, any of that stuff. Are you telling me they had got the full value of their labor? That's fucking stupid. Dude, that is beyond... Yeah, okay, sure, that's what the labor struggle is about. But they never got the full value of their labor is because they were heavily exploited. Do you understand that fact?
But we don't want the full value of our labor. We don't want to reappropriate surplus value. That's the point, retard. We want to get rid of it. You're so stupid. Dude, you got this Hakeem tanky brain where you're like, let's seize the surplus value. No, we don't want that shit.
I don't even
We wanna
watch
get rid of
Hakeem,
it
my
all.
man.
We want to get rid of all the surplus value. We don't want to seize it. We don't want to have it no more. You're retarded.
Surplus value in socialism is just going to be funneled into the
No,
actual means
dude,
of production.
It's not gonna exist. We're getting rid of it all. We're not doing this Paul cockshot shit.
Like,
We're
so-
getting rid of it all.
Appropriated surplus value is how
Fuck
capitalism
that.
reproduces its existence, and socialism is going to do the exact same thing
Okay,
too.
again, I asked you what necessary surplus labor is. You don't even know what the fuck that means. You have no clue what labor even is. Like, you literally don't know what it is.
I don't know what labor time is.
What is necessary surplus labor? What is that?
Necessary surplus labor? Do you mean socially necessary labor time?
What is this? Dude, listen, I'm asking you. What is it? Go ahead. Explain.
Okay. It is the amount of socially known labor that takes, depending on the current means of production, the mode of production at the time, to produce a certain commodity. It is historically defined. Is my mic cutting out? Okay. It is historically defined by how much labor you need to actually produce a commodity for a certain period of time. That's all it is. And that depends on the technical, things, the actual technology of the time.
So where does surplus come in then?
What does this have to do with surplus? They just talked about socially necessary
Well,
labor time to produce commodities.
How is surplus value produced then?
It's defined by the actual technical capabilities of the time. It's historical.
Okay, again, where does the surplus value come from?
Profit.
Okay, where does the profit come from?
The exploitation, unrealized profit is appropriated
Hey,
surplus labor.
How is it exploited?
Because you're not getting the full value of labor. It is private appropriation
are.
of social production.
You are.
That is the primary
You are.
contradiction in capital.
Dude, Marx. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Marx presupposes the whole entire fucking chapter of Volume 1 that's paid its full value. What are you talking about? He even says your wages are paid out before you even fucking work on a factory line or anything.
That's not what getting the full value of your labor means, and you already agree that you don't get the full value of your
How are
labor.
we paid? Okay, here we go. How am I exploited? How am I being exploited if my wage is paid out before I even work on a factory line? How am I being exploited?
Okay, so you're saying somebody giving you a wage in advance for you to perform a certain amount of labor is not
how am I being
exploitation?
exploited then? I haven't even worked yet.
Because you're not getting the full value of your labor and it's being privately appropriated.
How am I being paid then? What's even determining this pay? Who's determining this?
Determined between you and your boss, your employer.
What laws are actually determining this payout?
It was an exchange relationship. You decided to make that deal with your employer.
So he's just making up prices and I'm just agreeing to it. That's how it works. There's no
Yeah, nominal prices are made up.
There's no unhidden force behind this. It's just people.
You
just
talking
debate about
a
the
third
wages all
value?
day.
A third value? Is that what you're trying to get at here?
People so basically, wage labor is we just debate about it all day, and we see what we can get. That's what it is.
You do realize, like, when it comes to employment, it is negotiated.
No, it's really not.
It is.
Neither
It
of
is.
us
Sometimes
are.
you negotiate for higher pay. Sometimes they negotiate for lower pay. Have you ever had a job
Alistair,
before?
do you Alistair, do you even know Marx's formula for the rate of exploitation? Like, can you just
Sure.
repeat to me what?
Sure,
what
but
that
what does
is?
this have to do with our conversation?
Explain it. I know what it is. know the
I just want
formula.
to make sure that you understand what his theory of exploitation actually is. Can you just what is it's
Look,
I'll
I'm
give
not
you
going
an
to play quiz
illustration.
games. Let's get back onto the topic at
It's-
hand.
What,
Alright.
what is the rate of
We are
exploitation
talking
in
about
Marx? It's a ratio.
unrealized profit being equivalent to
There's
surplus
actually
value
multiple formulas.
appropriation.
There's actually multiple formulas, but all the
Sure.
formulas. But Marx, listen. The further you read Marx, he like summarizes them, or he'll start using like one letter to mean multiple different things. But it still means the same thing. Like this is an easy formula to understand. You're retarded. You
I don't really care.
Alistair, since if you don't know, just tell me so I'm happy to explain it to you.
Look,
Do you
I'm
know-
not
do
going
you
to
know
play
the
little
formula or
technical
not?
gotchas, so let's continue on with the
Okay,
actual
then
conversation.
I'll explain it to you, right? So the rate of exploitation in capital, right, is surplus value in the numerator and variable capital in the denominator. So what Rev was talking about and what Karim is talking about is true. Marx says that that the capitalist pays out in wages the actual value of the labor power in terms of variable capital, right? So the producer or the laborer receives the full value of his labor as variable capital.
So-
the denominator in the equation.
It's
So-
a
so how-
presupposed cost of
The
production.
mystery-
So
the
how did?
mystery-
Go
The
ahead.
mystery of exploitation is the numerator. It's the surplus value. The surplus value is over and above what the laborer gets his full labor power, right? Is paid out in wages.
I don't mean to be an
That's-
asshole
that's-
just because
that's
it's the numerator.
exploitation.
Okay.
So it's not a moral theory. It's a completely scientific
Nobody's-
theory.
Math.
nobody's
It's
making
math.
any
It's
moral
just
theories
math.
here.
All of capital is literally math equations. If you fucking really think about it, it's all just math.
I'm not.
Marx is trying to mathematically prove the contradictions within capitalism, and he's trying to unravel laws within it. That's the whole point of it, dude. This jibber jabber about debating about your weight, that's not how shit works, dude. There's laws that he's trying to pull back and understand using math. Literally, like, you're being retarded.
Okay, cool. So now we're talking about surplus labor, and you get the full value of your labor. Where does the capitalist get the value to actually invest in the means of production?
Bro, that's accumulation. Dude, this is accumulation. What the fuck?
I'd agree. Okay, yeah, like that's nominal wage value, right? But the actual value of that money is going to be less than what the value the labor power creates, and that's the whole point of exploitation.
Stop reading David Harvey. Stop reading Paul Cockshot. Throw that shit in the fucking.
No, I don't even read
dumpster.
David Harvey, by the way.
Throw that shit in the dumpster. Burn it. Burn his books. I support book burning for Paul Cockshot.
Good luck with that. His theories are probably gonna go farther.
No, he's not. He's fucking irrelevant.
Okay,
Yeah,
since you
David-
already
David
agree that you
Harvey-
don't get the full value of your labor and you kind of flip-flop, is there anything else you want to talk about?
This is bad, dude.
Alright, cool. Well, it was nice meeting y'all.
So basically, capital has no laws. Capital has no laws. It's actually like this voluntary process. We
Yes, you wanna
just debate
continue.
about it all day. We debate our wages. We debate about production. We debate about surplus value. That's all it is. Just
Okay,
just
yeah,
a
well,
bunch of debating, right? There's no math. There's no hard math and laws at place.
okay.
It's just a big fucking debate.
Rev, if you want to have like a debate on a specific topic, I'm more than
Yeah,
willing
you
to
would.
meet with you. All right. If you're willing to have a debate at any point in time, just let me know. Hit me up, dude. You have me in DMs, bro.
Dominated.
So in the
You go in,
meantime,
you go in.
all I gotta say is
Been
anime
dominated.
lives matter. Y'all have a good evening. Peace. That was a fun debate. I actually really enjoyed that. It was a complete shit show, but it is what it is. So, I think I'm gonna close off the stream. I'm gonna see if I can get more debates going on because I actually enjoy these kinds of debates. I've been stirring shit up on Twitter. Maybe if I can get more people into debates, get more content on the channel. Hope you guys enjoy this piece. Hope you enjoyed this debate. It was a bit of a shit show. Hopefully we can get some better discussions. All right. Peace.